Felipe Todicheenes was born in 1859. He is Esmeralda and Duque Todicheenes' second child. Growing up, Felipe enjoyed the farm life more than his siblings. He enjoyed taking care of the animals. He liked to help his family in any way he could. When he wasn't working on the farm, he would play with his brother and older cousin Chaska. At 16, his father made his famous wine. As they drank, Duque mentioned that he used to sell his wine before he nearly lost his business. Felipe was so invested that he had Duque show him how to make it. When he gave it a try, Duque was there to coach him. It took him a while to get it right, but he refused to give up until it was perfect. His father was the first to try. He was impressed. Felipe would often bring his drinks out to share with his friends. He gained a lot of popularity from it. So, when he went home, he made more. He added more ingredients to make it stronger. Then he brought it to his friends. They would drink and party all night. His fling was starting to become serious. In 1878, Felipe moved out with his new girlfriend. Her name was Marie. They were married later that year. Felipe continued to make more and more liquor. The couple drank all the time. Marie loved his drinks a little too much. While Felipe enjoyed having all the liquor to him and his wife, he was ready to start selling. He asked his father how to do it. Duque told him to start by selling local. Then once he's made enough money, brand. Following his father's advice, Felipe would sell his liquor to the saloon and other local businesses. After a few years, Felipe was able to brand and sell his products publicly. There were crowds of people lined up to buy his liquor. He sold a lot every day. Unfortunately, Felipe was arrested for not having a permit to distill his alcohol. His pregnant wife Marie was left by herself. In 1882, while Felipe was in prison, Marie had a little girl named Josephine. She kept her mother company while her father was away. For 2 years it was just the two of them. In 1884, Felipe finally returned home. He did his best to make up for the lost time. He didn't want to miss another moment. They were finally a family. They were very happy together. He went back to making the wine from his father's recipe to prevent another arrest. After a few months, it was ready to be sold. His first customer was a young woman named Carrie. He started to tell her about the wine's quality and reasonable pricing, but she was more interested in him than the wine. Flattered, he flirted back. He managed to make a few sales before calling it a night. Carrie followed him home and seduced him while his family was sleeping. Felipe couldn't resist. After that night, he didn't hear from her again. Then she returned with news. She was having his baby and had nowhere to go. Felipe was happy to let her stay, but his wife was furious. Against her wishes, he invited Carrie into their home. Marie wasn't happy at all with her being there. She made that very clear, that Carrie meant no harm. She did what she could to help around the house. But it didn't matter what she did. Marie made sure to tell her that her stay wasn't permanent. Soon in 1885, Carrie had a little girl. Her name was Cassandra. Felipe liked having both of his kids under the same roof, so Carrie wasn't going anywhere. She tried to be friendly with Marie, but she would curse her out. She told her she hated her. Felipe would argue with her about treating Carrie better, but Marie wasn't having it. She wanted her out. In 1887, Carrie was pregnant again. By then, Marie had enough. She told Carrie she could no longer stay with them. She cried to Felipe and he assured her that she could stay. He yelled at Marie for trying to kick her out when she had no place to go. That she was tired of living with his mistress and her bastard child. It wasn't fair. Felipe continued to let Carrie stay against her wishes once again. Distress caused Marie to drink more than usual, which then caused her to hurt Carrie. In doing so, she had taken the life of her unborn child. Carrie was absolutely devastated. She remained in her room for days, refusing to eat. Felipe didn't know what to do to help her. He cursed Marie for what she did and told her to leave. Marie couldn't believe he was kicking her out. But he meant every word. He wouldn't even allow her to say goodbye to their daughter. Before she left, Carrie stopped her. She told Felipe that it wasn't right to kick her out, especially since they were still married with a child. Even though Carrie was still upset for what she did, she knew that someday she would forgive her. Felipe was fine with her staying, as long as Carrie was okay with it. Marie was relieved she didn't have to go, but she still had hard feelings. She would never get used to having her around.